not here by accident. You were created with purpose, value, and beauty. There is a divine spark within you that cannot be replaced, replicated, or reduced. But somewhere along the way, life may have dimmed your light. Perhaps you forgot your worth. Perhaps others tried to convince you that you were not enough. But today, we begin the journey back home, to your true self. It's time to act as if you are the prize, not in arrogance, but in truth. Not with ego, but with self-love. Because when you remember who you are, the world responds in kind. You were born worthy. This truth is not something you need to earn, prove, or seek from the outside world. It is an eternal truth that lives within you, untouched by circumstances, mistakes, or the opinions of others. For anyone told you who you should be, what you must do to be loved, or how you must look to be accepted, you were already enough. When you came into this world, you did not arrive incomplete. You arrived whole, deserving, and sacred. As infants, we didn't worry about being good enough. We didn't apologize for needing love, attention, or care. We cried when we needed to be held, smiled when we felt joy, and rested when we were tired. We simply allowed ourselves to be, and in that state of being, we were loved. Somewhere along the way, however, we were taught to believe that love must be earned, that worth is conditional, and that we have to be something more in order to be truly valued. Maybe someone said you were too loud, too quiet, too emotional, or not enough of something. Maybe life handed you rejection, abandonment, or criticism that made you question yourself. And slowly, like clouds covering the sun, those experiences dimmed your inner light. But the truth is that light never left you. It only got buried beneath layers of fear, pain, and false beliefs. It's time to peel back those layers. It's time to remember who you are underneath it all. You are a divine being. You are life expressing itself in a beautiful, unique form. Nothing can change your value, not your past, not your failures, not your scars. In fact, those very scars are symbols of your growth. They are proof that you have lived, loved, fallen, and risen again. And rising again is your birthright. You don't need to chase approval. The love you seek from others is really a reflection of the love your soul is asking you to give to yourself. When you begin to treat yourself with kindness, when you speak to yourself with compassion, and when you honor your feelings, you start to awaken your true worth from within. You stop looking outward for validation because you realize you've had the key all along. Affirm to yourself daily, I am worthy. I am enough. I am lovable just as I am. Let these words sink deep into your subconscious. Let them become louder than the old voices that told you otherwise. When you change the way you speak to yourself, you begin to shift your entire reality. The energy of worthiness is magnetic. It draws in experiences, people, and opportunities that match your new vibration. But it all starts within. There is no version of you that is more worthy than who you are today. You don't need to lose weight, make more money, find a partner, or achieve a certain goal to be valid. Those things can enhance your life, but they are not the source of your value. You are the source. You are the center. You are the prize. When you begin to live from a place of self-worth, everything changes. You set healthier boundaries. You stop settling for crumbs when you know you deserve the feast. You stop begging to be chosen because you realize you already choose you. And that's the most powerful choice of all. Acting as if you are worthy, even before you fully believe it, trains your heart to catch up with your soul. You start walking taller, speaking with more confidence, and making decisions that reflect someone who honors themselves. That's not arrogance. That's alignment. That's truth. There will still be days when you doubt yourself. There will be moments when the old stories try to pull you back into unworthiness. But now you know better. And when you know better, you can gently remind yourself, I am not who they said I was. I am not the sum of my pain. I am a radiant, powerful being, worthy of love, peace, and joy. And you are. Always remember, you were not created by mistake. You are here on purpose. You are part of something sacred, something divine. The very breath that moves through you is evidence that you are wanted by life itself. So rise each day with the knowing that you are enough. Not someday, not when things change, but now and forevermore. You were born worthy, and that is the truth you are now ready to live. Your energy speaks long before your words do. It enters the room ahead of you, quietly informing the people around you of how you expect to be treated, not through demands or declarations, but through your posture, your tone, your boundaries, and most of all, through the way you treat yourself. Energy is a silent teacher, and the way you carry yourself teaches others what is acceptable and what is not. When you believe you are unworthy, even on a subconscious level, that belief leaks out in the way you show up. You might overextend, apologize for existing, shrink yourself in the presence of others, or accept less than you deserve because somewhere deep down you don't feel entitled to more. And without even realizing it, those around you pick up on that. Not always out of cruelty, but simply by following the energetic cues you are giving off. Think about it. When you speak gently but confidently, you teach others that you expect respect. When you maintain eye contact, take up space, and honor your feelings, you're telling the world, I matter. You don't have to raise your voice or prove your worth. You simply embody it. That's the power of your energy. It doesn't lie, and it doesn't beg. It just is. Conversely, if you consistently say yes when you mean no, tolerate disrespect, or betray your own needs in the hope of keeping others happy, your energy tells people that they can cross your boundaries, not because you are weak, but because your inner self hasn't yet remembered its strength. This doesn't mean it's your fault if someone mistreats you. It means that healing your relationship with yourself can shift the energy that attracts such people or keeps them in your life. The good news is this: energy can change. You can teach others a new way to engage with you by first choosing a new way to engage with yourself. The shift doesn't begin by demanding others change. It begins the moment you do. When you begin honoring your truth, others either rise to meet you at your new frequency or fall away. And when they fall away, bless them and let them go. Not everyone is meant to stay in the sacred space of your evolution. You might wonder, how do I begin shifting my energy? It starts with awareness. Observe how you treat yourself in moments of doubt, stress, or disappointment. Do you criticize yourself? Or do you offer compassion? Pay attention to the language you use when talking about yourself. Are your words loving, encouraging, or do you belittle your own efforts? The way you speak to yourself becomes the foundation of your energetic frequency. You cannot expect others to treat you with more kindness than you offer yourself. It also means learning to say no without guilt. Every time you say no to something that drains you, you say yes to your soul. Setting boundaries isn't about pushing others away. It's about honoring the sacredness of your time, energy, and peace. And when you do that, people around you begin to notice that they can't just take from you without your permission. Your boundaries become your energetic signature, clear, strong, and full of self-respect. Another powerful way to shift your energy is through your presence. Are you grounded in who you are, or are you constantly seeking approval from others? When you seek external validation, your energy becomes dependent and uncertain. But when you validate yourself, your energy becomes steady and magnetic. People are drawn to those who radiate self-trust and calm assurance, not because they are perfect, but because they are whole. You don't need to prove your worth to anyone. You don't need to compete or compare. You simply need to remember who you are and show up as her or him, unapologetically. And yes, at first it might feel uncomfortable. You might feel resistance. You might even lose some people along the way. But what you will gain, peace, self-respect, inner power, is far more valuable than what you leave behind. Your energy is always teaching. Let it teach love. Let it teach respect. Let it teach I know my value. Because when you embody this truth, you begin to create a life that reflects it. The universe, too, begins to respond to your new vibration. It sends you relationships, opportunities, and miracles that match your elevated frequency. But remember, every step you take in the direction of self-honor is a step that teaches the world how to meet you. And the more you align with your inner truth, the less you tolerate anything that isn't a match for your light. You don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to prove yourself. You just have to be yourself freely and without apology. And that is enough, because you are enough. There comes a time when we must lovingly let go of the stories we've been telling ourselves, the ones we've repeated so often that they feel like the truth, the ones that tell us who we are, what we're capable of, and what we're allowed to receive. These stories often stem from our past, childhood wounds, painful relationships, failures, betrayals. But just because they started there doesn't mean they belong in our future. You are not your past. You are not your mistakes. You are not the opinion someone else had of you. Yet, when we cling to these old stories, we trap ourselves in patterns that no longer serve us. We find ourselves stuck in the same cycles, attracting the same pain in different forms, wondering why nothing changes. The answer often lies in what we continue to believe about ourselves, deep down, in that quiet space within. Maybe you've told yourself, I always mess things up, or no one ever stays, or I'm not good enough to have what I want. These beliefs become the scripts that run our lives. They shape the way we see the world, the way we see others, and the way we treat ourselves. And the longer we hold on to them, the more power they gain. But there is another way, a gentler way, a way of surrendering, not in weakness, but in wisdom. It starts with recognizing that the story is not the soul. The pain is not your identity. And those old thoughts, they are not your voice. They are echoes of a wounded past, calling out for your compassion, not your attachment. We hold on to old stories because they're familiar, they feel safe. Even when they hurt, they offer a sense of predictability. But healing begins when we become willing to release the familiar pain and welcome the unknown possibility of peace. And yes, it's scary to let go of who you thought you were, but it's also free. So how do we release the old stories? We start by noticing them. Pay attention to the thoughts that come up when things go wrong, when someone criticizes you, when you're faced with uncertainty. What do you immediately believe about yourself in those moments? That's the story. And when you see it clearly, you gain the power to rewrite it. Forgiveness plays a powerful role here. Not just forgiving others, but forgiving yourself. Forgive yourself for the times you believed you weren't enough. Forgive yourself for acting out of pain. Forgive yourself for not knowing better. And celebrate the fact that now you do. Every act of forgiveness is an act of release. It's a statement that says, I no longer choose to carry this with me. You can begin to speak new words over your life. Words that affirm your strength, your worth, your beauty, your power. Even if you don't fully believe them yet, speak them anyway. Say, I am allowed to change. I deserve love that doesn't hurt. I am free from the past. I trust myself. With repetition and intention, these new words take root. They begin to shape a new narrative, one that honors your healing, not your hurt. Releasing old stories doesn't mean pretending they didn't happen. It means you acknowledge them, you honor the lessons, but you don't let them define you. You rise above them. You bless the past for what it taught you, and you walk forward lighter and wiser. There is something beautiful waiting on the other side of letting go, a version of you that isn't weighed down by shame, fear, or regret, a version that trusts in her own voice, that says yes to joy without guilt, that welcomes love without suspicion, that believes in miracles again. And she is not far away. She is already inside you, waiting for permission to emerge. This life is too short to be lived inside an old chapter. You are allowed to turn the page. You are allowed to choose again. You are allowed to create a new story, one rooted in truth, love, and self-respect. One that honors where you've been, but isn't chained to it. Every day is a new invitation to let go, to breathe deeper, to return to yourself. You don't need to fix everything at once. You just need to take one step at a time, guided by love. And with each step, the old stories loosen their grip. They fade into the background, and in their place, you discover something far more powerful. Your own voice, your own truth, your own light. Let today be the day you say, I release the past. I release the pain. I release the version of me that had to survive. I choose peace. I choose healing. I choose me. Self-worth isn't something you find one day and never have to work on again. It's not a single moment of realization or a sudden burst of confidence that stays forever. Self-worth is a daily practice. A gentle commitment you make to yourself again and again, especially when it's hardest to believe in your own value. It's the quiet work of choosing yourself even when you feel uncertain, of treating yourself with love, even when the world tries to tell you otherwise. Many of us are raised to believe that self-worth is something we earn through achievement, appearance, perfection, or the approval of others. We are taught to measure our value by what we do, who likes us, how much we accomplish, or how little we mess up. And so we begin to chase worth like a destination we'll someday arrive at, exhausted but victorious. But self-worth was never meant to be a destiny. It is something you return to, something you build from within, one loving thought and choice at a time. Being self-worth means becoming mindful of how you speak to yourself. Notice the inner dialogue that runs quietly beneath your daily life. Is it harsh or forgiving? Does it uplift or tear down? Are you kind to yourself when you fall short? Do you extend the same compassion to yourself that you offer others? This is where the work begins. Not in changing who you are, but in changing how you relate to who you are. On some days it will feel easy. You'll feel aligned, grounded, even proud. But on other days, old beliefs may rise up. Voices from the past may echo in your mind. You might find yourself comparing, doubting, or criticizing. That doesn't mean you've lost your self-worth. It means you're human. The key is to recognize the moment and gently bring yourself back. Back to love, back to truth, back to the practice. Self-worth is also in the boundaries you set. When you say no to something that dishonors your peace, you're saying yes to your value. When you walk away from what drains you or disrespects you, you affirm your worth. You don't have to prove your strength. Sometimes it's in the quiet withdrawal, the soft refusal, the silent knowing of what you will and will not allow. But self-worth isn't built through rejection alone. It's also about allowing yourself to receive, to accept compliments without deflecting, to say yes to opportunities without second-guessing, to believe that you are worthy of good things, not because you've earned them, but because your very existence is enough. You are worthy of love, kindness, rest, joy, abundance. Not someday, not after you fix yourself, right now. Another part of the practice is honoring your needs, listening to your body, paying attention to your emotions, slowing down when you're tired, speaking up when something doesn't feel right. So often we silence ourselves for the sake of keeping peace or avoiding discomfort. But each time you honor your own voice, you rebuild trust with yourself. You remind yourself that you are worth listening to. Sometimes, practicing self-worth means doing the hard thing, letting go of people who don't value you, walking away from familiar patterns or starting over. It might mean healing from trauma, unlearning shame, or forgiving yourself for things you didn't know back then. This work is not always easy, but it is sacred, and with each brave step, you create a stronger, truer foundation for yourself. Be patient with yourself on this journey. You will not always feel worthy. Some days, the doubt will feel louder than the love. That's okay. The goal is not to never feel unworthy. The goal is to keep choosing yourself, especially on those days, to return over and over to the truth. You matter. You are enough. You always were. You are not here to prove your worth. You are here to live it, to express it, to embody it in every step, every choice, every breath. And the more you do, the more the world reflects it back to you, not because it gives you worth, but because your energy becomes a mirror of your belief. So start where you are, with one loving thought, one new boundary, one quiet moment of self-acceptance. You don't have to be perfect to be worthy. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to remember again and again that your worth is not something you chase. It's something you practice. And every time you do, you come home to yourself. What you believe, you manifest. This is one of the most powerful truths in the universe, yet so many people overlook it. Your beliefs are not passive thoughts floating in your mind. They are active forces shaping your reality. They create the lens through which you see the world, the energy you emit, and ultimately the life you experience. If you want to change your life, you must begin by changing your beliefs. Everything begins within. Your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. If you constantly believe that life is hard, that love is painful, that success is reserved for others, you will unconsciously seek out situations that confirm these beliefs. Not because life is against you, but because your beliefs have become filters, allowing in only what aligns with your inner story. You're not attracting what you want, you're attracting what you expect. Many people say they want love, abundance, or peace, but deep down, they don't believe they deserve it, or they believe it's possible for others, but not for them. These subconscious beliefs block the very things they're asking for. The universe always responds to your dominant vibration, not just your words. You can affirm, I am worthy all day long, but if the belief underneath says, I am not enough, that's the message the universe will receive. The good news is beliefs are not permanent. They can be changed. They are not truths. They are thoughts you've repeated enough times to believe. And just as you learn to doubt yourself, you can learn to trust yourself. Just as you accepted fear, you can welcome faith. Just as you believed in limitations, you can now believe in miracles. The shift begins with awareness. Start listening to the story you tell yourself. What do you believe about love, money, health, your body, your future? What do you say to yourself when things don't go as planned? When you make a mistake, when someone hurts you? These inner dialogues reveal your beliefs, and once you see them, you can begin to change them. Speak new truths, even if they feel unfamiliar at first. Say, I am worthy of love. I attract abundance easily. My life is unfolding in divine timing. At first, your mind might resist. That's okay. You are planting seeds. Keep watering them with your focus, your emotion, and your repetition. Over time, they take root, they grow, and soon they begin to bloom into new experiences. Your emotions are also powerful tools for manifestation. The feeling behind your belief gives it momentum. If you believe something with joy and excitement, you draw it toward you faster. If you believe something with fear and doubt, you push it away. That's why it's so important to raise your vibration. Do things that bring you peace, that reconnect you with joy, that help you feel good without needing a reason. Because when you feel good, you become magnetic to everything aligned with that frequency. Let go of the need to know how everything will unfold. The universe is not asking you to figure it all out. It's asking you to trust, to believe, to align. Your job is to hold the belief, to stay in the energy of what you desire. The path will reveal itself as you stay faithful to the vision, not the old vision shaped by fear, but the new one shaped by love and possibility. Remember that you don't manifest what you say you want. You manifest what you truly believe is possible for you. So make your beliefs match your desires. If you want love, believe in love. If you want healing, believe in your ability to heal. If you want success, believe that success is meant for you. That belief becomes your signal to the universe, and the universe always responds. Be patient. Belief doesn't always create instant change, but it always creates eventual change. Sometimes things fall apart first to make space. Sometimes old energies need to be cleared before the new can arrive, but don't let temporary appearances shake your belief. Hold firm. Keep showing up with love. Keep choosing thoughts that serve you. Keep trusting that everything is aligning, even if you can't see it yet. You are far more powerful than you realize. You are creating with every thought, every word, every emotion. Choose consciously. Choose lovingly. Choose as if your dream is already on its way. Because it is. Loving yourself into wholeness is the deepest and most transformative act you can offer your soul. It is not a selfish act. It is a sacred one. You were never meant to live in pieces, carrying fragments of yourself that feel unloved, unwanted, or unworthy. Wholeness begins the moment you decide that every part of you deserves compassion, acceptance, and grace. We are taught from an early age to seek love outside of ourselves. We look for validation from others, hoping someone will tell us we are enough. We try to be perfect, to achieve more, to look a certain way, all in the name of finally feeling worthy. But no amount of external praise or approval can fill the space inside that longs for your own love. Wholeness doesn't come from fixing yourself. It comes from embracing yourself. To love yourself into wholeness means looking at your past, not with judgment, but with tenderness. Every wound, every mistake, every regret, these are not signs of failure. They are parts of your human experience, chapters in your soul's evolution. You don't have to erase them. You only have to hold them gently. like you would a child who has been hurt. Whisper to yourself, I did the best I could. With what I knew then, I forgive myself. I welcome healing now. There may be parts of you that still feel broken, ashamed, or lost. That's okay. You don't need to banish these parts. You need to love them back into the light. Imagine taking the hand of your younger self, the one who felt afraid, unseen, or unloved. Tell them, you are safe with me now. I will never abandon you again. This is how you become whole. Not by denying your pain, but by offering it the love it never received. Wholeness also means accepting your emotions without resistance. Joy, sorrow, anger, fear, they all belong. None of them make you unworthy. Emotions are messengers, not enemies. When you feel sad, let yourself feel, without shame. When you're angry, let the fire rise without guilt. Your feelings are not flaws, they are sacred signals guiding you back to yourself. Loving yourself into wholeness also involves releasing the belief that you must always be strong. There is strength in vulnerability. There is power in saying, I need rest, I need space, I need help. You don't have to carry everything alone. You are not weak for having wounds. You are brave for facing them. You are courageous for staying soft in a world that often teaches hardness. Start treating yourself the way you wish others had. Speak to yourself with kindness. Feed your body with care. Rest when you're tired. Surround yourself with people and environments that reflect the love you're learning to give yourself. Create a life where your soul can breathe. Each loving act, no matter how small, says, I matter, I am worthy. And when the old voices rise, the ones that say you're not enough, not lovable, not whole, meet them with compassion. Those voices are echoes of the past, not truths. They are the remnants of old programming, not your present reality. You are not broken. You are not lacking. You are not too much. You are simply healing, unfolding, and remembering who you truly are. You are not here to become perfect. You are here to become you, fully, boldly, unapologetically you. That means embracing your quirks, your softness, your brilliance, and your shadows. It means owning your light and letting it shine without shrinking. When you live from a place of self-love, you become a beacon. Others feel your energy. They see your wholeness and are reminded of their own. Remember, wholeness doesn't mean you never feel pain. It means you trust yourself to move through pain with love. It means you believe in your own resilience. You know how to return to your center. You know how to offer yourself tenderness instead of punishment. This is a journey. Some days will feel easier than others. But every time you choose love over fear, kindness over criticism, presence over avoidance, you are coming home to yourself. You are piecing yourself back together with threads of gold. And this tapestry of love you are weaving within, it becomes the foundation of a beautiful, radiant life. So take a deep breath. Place your hand on your heart. Whisper softly, I am learning to love myself. I am safe. I am healing. I am whole. Let that truth settle into your bones. Let it carry you through today and every day after. Because you are not a project, you are a masterpiece in progress. And loving yourself is how you shine.